Welcome to Sports Guy Talking. I am Dustin Tran, your host, as I am here today to do a Q&A for myself, since that was the reward I was going to give to you guys if Sports Guy Talking hit 1,000 subscribers. I had fans submit in questions that they could ask me to go ahead and answer. So that is what will be done in this Q&A. These questions came from Instagram, so I will be addressing each and every question that was in there. Now let's go ahead and start this off. All right, so there are 14 questions that was submitted in. I'm going to address each and every of those questions. So let's go ahead and get this off. All right, so question number 1. What is your next big YouTube goal? This was a question from Dion. My response to that is I want Sports Guy Talking to have 2,000 subscribers by the end of the 2022 calendar year, and to have eligibility for monetization in my videos. Remember, I'm not getting paid yet by YouTube. I need 4,000 watch hours within the last year in order to be eligible to do so. I also need the 1,000 subscribers in order to be eligible to do so. We crossed off one of those 2 goals. Now we need to go ahead, knock off that other goal, and no better way to do that than get 2,000 subscribers by the end of the calendar year, because that means that the channel will be growing by fast. I know that that's a large goal to be asking, but I believe in you guys. You guys are going to go ahead and do that. I got full confidence in myself and these viewers. I know it's a large goal to do, but let's go ahead and try to get that. All right, so question number 2. What's the next question? What motivated you to start making sports content? All right, so this came from Spencer. This is a guest that goes on my channel sometimes here and there. All right, so I'm going to answer him like this. So seeing how sports talkers on multiple platforms were able to voice their opinions on sports topics, that was something that I said, man, I could definitely do what they do, except I could give my knowledge more effectively than them. In other words, to give my thought process on sports content while doing so without the help of mainstream media, i.e. ESPN, i.e. FS1. So something like that. So that's what I was thinking in my mind. All right, so let's go ahead and get to question number 3. What are your thoughts on the Warriors potentially repeating? This came from Trey Smith. All right, so he said, so my response to that would be this. That's going to be hard to do. The Warriors, they lost a lot of key depth pieces this offseason. KD might even go back to the Western Conference, which will muddy up the path for the Warriors to get back to the NBA Finals and repeat as champions next season. So that's just kind of my short analysis on that. All right, question number 4. Why is Kyrie Irving so toxic? Why is he content on ruining teams? This came from Trev Rock, and I'm going to go ahead and answer both of those questions out of the ballpark. All right, so Kyrie Irving, why is he toxic? He's toxic because that's just who he is personality-wise. He's content on ruining teams because his personality and ego does not allow him to humble down. He lacks humility. He also doesn't care about the ideology of putting the team above himself. Until he learns that concept, he will continue to ruin teams. So that's my question number 4 that was given. All right, so question number 5. We got some interesting questions coming up. Not that the first 4 that I shared were boring. It's just that this one's really interesting. All right, so question number 5. When do we get some UFC-based content? This came from Mike Murray. And I'm going to answer this question with this. So I'm probably going to say never. I mean, never say never, but I'm probably going to lean towards that. Unless there's a historically big UFC fight that's going to be coming up for the ages, that's going to be historical, probably one of the biggest hyped up events in sports history, it probably won't be a topic that I'll cover. I just don't know enough about the UFC to form opinions compared to football and basketball. I know more about baseball, hockey, and soccer than I do about the UFC. I really just don't know much about it. So that's probably why I'm probably not going to address UFC-based content, although I respect people who are into that. All right, so question number 6. What has been your hardest challenge during YouTube? So this came from Wilson. By the way, he went to school with me back in high school. So shout out to my guy, Wilson. All right, so he said, so my response to that is being able to stay positive when my views, likes, and subscribers were not growing. That was way back when Sports Guy Talking was barely over 1,000 subscribers. If you guys remember those days, man, that was pretty hard. Not like now. I mean, I'm not trying to diss the people back then, but the support nowadays is so much better than it was 3 or 4 years ago, something like that. Basically, the early ages of Sports Guy Talking. Now, here's also another question. Question number 7. Favorite anime? If none, favorite football? Apparently, this came from Femboy Football. I don't know his actual name, but that's the name that came from it. So my response to it would be this. I don't really follow anime. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I've never really gotten into it. I mean, I don't hate it or anything like that. I just don't have a favorite for anime. As for my favorite movie, ooh, this is a tough one. Tough one to answer. There's a lot of good ones. But I'm going to pick Remember the Titans. I say that because there were two schools that was integrated into one school. Players of different races were formed together. That certainly played an interesting dynamic. The movie Remember the Titans also has a lot of lessons that are applicable in real life, and I'm not going to go ahead and spoil any more of the movie, but that's just some of the reasons why that's my favorite movie. If you haven't checked it out yet, you have to check it out. It's a great movie to see, and some of the examples that are applicable in real life that I just said are tensions amongst whites and blacks, because they basically got segregated into one school, and those guys, they didn't get along with each other, at least not at first. I'm not going to spoil any more of the movie, but yeah, that's going to be my favorite movie. So that's that. Question number 8, would you ever branch out and review an enthralling sport such as women's basketball? So this came from Christian. My response to that would be doubt it. Ratings for women's basketball are declining real bad. Not a good investment to jump in terms of making content. If most people don't care to watch women's basketball, then why would they care to hear someone go ahead and talk about women's basketball? It just doesn't make sense from a marketing standpoint. Sorry if I sound so rude about it, but that's just the reality of where women's basketball is. All right, so question number 9 is this. What year did you start YouTube? This came from Sincere. He's a guest on my channel here and there. And I'm going to give a one-word answer to that. 2018. That's when it started. I started Sports Guy Talking in 2018. Man, it's been 4 years since I started this channel. Time flies by. I remember starting the channel like it was yesterday. All right, so that's just me taking care of question number 9. Let's talk about question 10. What's life outside YouTube like? So this came from Sean. And to be honest with you guys, this is my favorite question that was asked because, man, it really digs deep into my life because you guys just know me as a YouTuber. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and answer this to the best of my abilities. All right, I watch a lot of football and basketball. Also hang out with my family a lot. I do a lot with gardening inside the house. Usually my dad, he needs me to do something. I do it for him. You know, I'm pretty loyal to the core. I have a lot of loyalty cores that I have to my mind. I'm not one that goes against people just because I want to do that. Now, look, I used to be into gaming as well for the gamers that are out there, but I haven't been able to get into that as of late. I'm also an equipment manager at a D2 college, so I'm often busy with jobs, particularly during football season. There's never really a time where I'm bored. And if I'm even bored for somewhat, okay, maybe I can go and check out a good movie or a good TV show like Friends or something like that. I'm always occupied with something. There's always something going on in my life. I don't really understand the concept of getting bored. So that's what my life is like. It's always so busy because when I'm not working on YouTube, I'm catching up on other things that are entertaining to me or other things that just need to get done. So there's never a time where I'm just sitting in my room thinking, man, can you give me a chore to do? Man, I'll feel bored. Can I go somewhere? No, I'm always busy. I'm always doing something. That's just how it is. That's why I don't sleep as much as I probably should be because I'm out here grinding with you guys to make awesome content. So that's my question number 10. All right, question number 11 is, what is your favorite sport and why? This came from Steven Schomler. He's been an advisor for my YouTube channel. Great guy. I've been talking to him a lot about the YouTube channel. He also has a son who does sports content. His name is Zach Schomler, Strong Opinion Sports. That's the YouTube channel name. If you guys know what that is, please go ahead and check it out. His content is awesome. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and answer the question. All right, so my favorite sport is football because that was the first sport I was ever introduced to. I have always liked the routine and structure that football requires in order to be great because I feel that logic also applies in the real world. It's really quite that simple. Which now leads to the next question, question number 12. Favorite sport beside football? This came from Football Adranity. And my answer to that would be basketball. Always like the idea of shooting the ball into the hoop. I like playing basketball too. It's fun to play. You can call up a couple of friends and you can go ahead and hoop. It's just a fun sport to play. All right, question number 13. Favorite topic. This came from Trevor Bryan. All right, he's a college football player at a D2 school. He's been one of the original subscribers. Wanted to shout out my guy. All right, so my question to that would be favorite topic I've ever done, or shall I rather say the answer to this was favorite topic I've ever done was related to Justin Herbert, or when I was making those Herbert videos back in 2020 because I called his superstardom before it became popular to say so. I would call Justin Herbert the best quarterback in the 2020 draft class. That was when many people were saying that Justin Herbert would be a draft bust. I disagreed with that. I said that he would become a future star in the NFL, and he's become exactly that. One of my proudest moments on the channel. So that's my answer to question 13. And the final question that I got from you guys was this: will Herbert be the best QB over the next 5 years? This came from Jed Dean. All right, so I'm going to answer this long-windedly, and I'm going to give a short answer to this. So it's tough to say. Justin Herbert, he's one of my favorite quarterbacks in the NFL right now, but there are so many good QBs right now in the NFL. You think about Patrick Mahomes, you think about Josh Allen, you think about Joe Burrow. Those are some names that come into mind amongst others. Those three guys that I just listed, though, are the front runners in my mind to take that title of being the best QB over the next 5 years. There might even be some other names out there that are still in college that may emerge as the best QB 5 years from now. 5 years, that's a long time. I mean, think about it. My YouTube channel is not even 5 years old. And a lot has already changed in the 4 years that I've had since I started the YouTube channel. So it's really hard to answer this. Still, though, Justin Herbert is definitely a candidate for that spot. However, long story short, the answer to that question is no. I need to see more from Justin Herbert before I can confidently say that he will be the best QB over the next 5 years. So that concludes the 1,000 subscriber Q&A that was just conducted. Thank you to each and every one that submitted these questions in. It means a lot to me. It also means a lot that you guys subscribed and watched these videos, because that means that the channel is growing. That means you guys care about the content that I'm making. All right, remember, if you haven't done this yet, go ahead and subscribe to Sports Guy Talking. Like the video and please comment down below. If you guys do that, I may shout you guys out in a future video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Dustin S. Tran and at Sports Guy Talking. Also, go follow me on Twitter at Dustin S. Tran. Again, go ahead and do those things that I just told you guys to go do. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the content that was just produced. Peace out. I hope you enjoyed that video. Want more Sports Guy Talking, the home of great sports content? Make sure you click that subscribe button to get the latest from Sports Guy Talking. Go ahead and like the video, comment down below, check the description box on the video in order to follow my Instagram and Twitter. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from the YouTube channel Sports Guy Talking.